Yeah, first it did the 5% trigger, then it did the 52-week high.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is William Wheeler, and we are back and we live with InvestCurb Stocks
Yep,
Real Talk. Got Antonio on the line here.
yep,
Yep,
yep.
yep. And we taking it to the top for you and yours. And let's see. Oh my God, what a hell of a ride this morning, Tony. I mean, what a hell of a ride. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
You sound like the song, man. Yeah, hell
Oh
of a
yeah.
ride, hell of a year.
Oh what? Tell me about it. Tell me about it. We ain't even gonna talk Tesla today. You already said that. We ain't talking Tesla
I
today.
mean, just it's down, and like I just put it like this. Um, it's going to be a stranger animal now that it's in the S&P, and I don't know what that means really right now. For me, it means looking at the alternative stuff. And the biggest thing that I'm seeing, or what that Will and I are seeing, is the stock related crypto movement. Um, MSTR, which is MicroStrategy, they bought so much Bitcoin, and they're doing their thing. Square has Bitcoin, but Square's not up. PayPal has Bitcoin in it. Just MicroStrategy has so much more Bitcoin invested in the company. So of course they're performing well. And Will actually put me onto a couple of stocks, and I'm gonna let Will talk about those other crypto related stocks.
Well, it's crazy right now. So let me go to the charts. I know I got Verizon on the screen, but if you see Verizon, it's with the monthly play. Actually, I'm in a play right here, but that's not expected till next year. So we won't even look at that for right now. But let's look up MSTR on the ticker, which is MicroStrategy. See, we so nice we know this by name, and look at that. Boom, baby. So it is in somewhat of a over, I guess over.
Yeah. Uh oh.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
here.
God, my mic came out. I was thinking you guys heard the elevator music when that happened. I gotta set that up till you hear the elevator music when that happened. But look at this ride today on MSTR. It was down to 113. Well, actually, no. Let me make sure because I'm in the month, right? Yeah. I'm sorry. Let's take it to the day. Okay. So boom. Look at that gap up. Hey, remember when I was telling you, Tone, we gotta play gap ups?
Yes.
And you see, look at that gap up that it had today. That's where that outstanding performance. So by the time you got in, it just
Share
gapped
your
up.
screen too.
Yup, I'll share it. All right, hold on 1 second. Let me put it back to the 5 minutes. I mean, that jump was miraculous. Hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go to the share screen.
And what makes it crazy is this stock. This is a down market, and this stock is still performing.
Yeah, yeah, you're not lying. You're not lying. It said, "Can you do it?" It said, "I'm not gonna be able to do it." What a day! What a day!
Still not seeing it yet.
Yep, it should come
Oh,
up.
there you go.
Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so you seeing it now? So
Yes.
right here, I'm gonna make this bigger. Let me move it down some. Let me make this bigger. And see it gapped up. You can tell it gapped up because from right here, and then boom, it was
Yep.
over here. So actually it gapped up a couple of times. So that just goes to show you for all you that are smart enough to not just focus on to not just focus on regular stocks right now. And I know me and you've been talking about MicroStrategy for a minute right now, and look at how they riding right now.
Yeah.
They
I'm looking.
Yeah, they rolling the wind right now, which is crazy. The other one that I'm looking at is, hold on, Mara. So Mara has actually been on the minds of many lately, and look at they run. But you can't expect Mara to bring you millions overnight unless you trade in like hundreds of thousands of shares of this thing. So if you're a beginner trader and you just trading a couple of shares here and there, then it's understandable. You're gonna make a little money, which is good, but you also got to be patient. You got to be patient with it, right, Antonio?
Yep.
Yep. And I think you looking at Mara for the long run as well, right? Marathon Patent Group, and I believe their situation is the rigs, right? That's a rig play.
Yeah, they're doing the mining, so they're making they're doing their thing based off the mining. And like I said, like like Will said, the thing to look at maybe with the good thing about these crypto stocks, if you're playing options, it's going to go in your favor because they're up. Um,
Yep.
if you're looking at the regular stocks right now, pretty much most of the stuff is down. There's a few things that are up, but mostly everything is down. Um, there's another stock that's up. It's called CELH, and I've talked about it before. It's continuing to rise. It doesn't seem like right now it has a bottom. It's not a crypto stock. It's a drink. It's an energy drink without sugar and the effects of oh man, I can't remember the other one.
Which one?
The stuff in the blue and gray
Red.
can.
Oh, you talking about Red Bull?
Yeah, Red Bull. It's smoother than Red Bull,
Yep.
and it's been doing well. Like just go on Yahoo and just look at the graph, and you'll see the performance metrics there. It's just been going straight up. I mean, it has its little dips, but for the most part, it's just upward bound.
Oh yeah.
I like that one a lot. And then there's another one called Synopta,
Synopta, what's their ticket symbol? You know?
STKL,
STKL. Let's go to Synopta.
STKL. Yep.
Ooh, look at that jump today, boy.
Now, again, what I'm saying is this stock is another food-based stock, and it doesn't have the same performance as CELH, but it's close enough where you can see the metrics when you do the year view on a graph.
Gotcha.
So it's another one to go after hard, and it's cheap. It's $9 and some change right now. It's almost $10 a share. And I didn't play an option play on it yet, but that's my next step. I just think that there are stocks that's performing, but they're not going to be the Microsofts and the Facebooks and all that today because just the whole market is pretty much just down. But they're always hitting treasures. And what I try to do, and what Will and I try to attempt to do, is look at the stuff that nobody's looking at, because those are the gems. Those are the ones that give you the fruit. And what happens is you kind of do really well. While everybody's got their Facebook and their Netflix and all that stuff and it's down, you're having an up day because you got a combination of stocks. I'm not saying that I'm knocking any of those stocks. I'm just saying that today is the day those stocks are doing nothing. You're just losing money.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you don't want to be in the losing money business doing stocks if you can help it. Sometimes you can't help it, but there are times you could circumvent it.
I mean, geez, look
And
at
then another
Facebook.
special play is Lilly,
Lily, who's Lily? That's
LLY.
LLY. Let's go check out Lily. Eli Lilly and Company.
Yep.
Look at that gap
Pharmaceutical.
down, baby. Oof, what a
Yep.
gap down. But of course, though, I guess we're hitting that correction period. That's what I could assume. We're jumping into that correction period, and I know Eli Lilly has always been a strong stock to play, right?
Yep. It's probably one of the better ones. And, even though they're not doing they don't have the coronavirus cure just yet, they've just been constantly doing what they need to do. And I mean, I can name others, but like most of them are down right now. Like the Pfizer was hot a couple of weeks back, and it seems like after they made their announcement, they just kind of bottomed out for a little while, but I'm sure they'll be back. But the main stocks, right? Like I said, CELH, Lilly, what was the other one? It's Synoptra,
Yeah,
STKL. Those are regular, consumer-based stocks and the pharmaceutical stocks, but they're doing well. I ordered the drink last week, like I said on the other podcast, and I liked the taste. It was mild, it wasn't killer, and it actually kept me awake. And it works pretty good. But the other ones too to look at are Block, which is BLOK,
Ah, that's a good one. I was trying to remember that one. Block. You
and
in?
will put me onto to these, and they're doing extremely well.
Yep, yep.
BLOK, yep.
And that's a Amplify ETF blockchain for those who don't know. And you're definitely going to see this ETF rock pretty soon, because we're just getting the memento of Bitcoin, and if that momentum stays, then oh my God, you're going to see this ETF soar. You're going to see this ETF soar. A lot of people's getting out of oil right now,
Yeah.
so I see that. You know, those old type of plays is not really making it further. Too
And
much.
I think in 2021 they're gonna go less and less because the electric car thing is on fire right now. So all that has to happen is the different states have to make the rule to get away from oil-based cars or gas-based cars, and that's the end of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. You see,
So you want to
yep. You want to what?
no, I was gonna say, so you want to pay attention to the EVs, right? So today is probably not my best day to talk about EVs because of Tesla, what it's doing. It's not doing bad, but it's not doing great. And I'm beginning to wonder if it's a couple of things that are happening. Like one of the things I think is the coronavirus going up, and then we have this whole thing now about another strain of the coronavirus. I mean,
Yep.
the stimulus stuff, the new stimulus news is really promising, but I just think in the background, the coronavirus thing is um, just making things a little worse with the market right now. But again, as I said earlier, and as we'll attest to, the stocks will go up. There are stocks that will go up in this period. And the beauty is you don't have to be left out. And that brings me to something else that I wanted Will to talk about. Well, it wasn't TradeStation. What was that? The utility that you showed me where it can make the calls when the stock is about to go up.
Oh, you talking about trade ideas?
Yeah, let them know about trade ideas.
Yeah. So with Trade Ideas is an excellent program, and if you want to get into it, you could actually just go inside the section below, and I actually have a link to Trade Ideas. But what Trade Idea does is give you artificial intelligence scanner, which is actually helping you along the way with the plays that you may want to make. So, Trade Ideas is a cloud based artificial intelligence stock market analysis platform, which, if you are a professional, that is the way to go. So, it's something that you want under your Richter scale, and you don't want to sleep on. Definitely don't want to sleep on. So it's a great way. You go to the site, you could download the software. They actually have a web platform as well, TI for web, or you could download the software. But yeah, all you got to do is just click the link below in the comment section, and you'll actually see it. And I mean, this thing will really help you out with making some tools in place. Okay, and as you can see, it gives you a little idea of what it looks like right here. And yeah, big shout to Trade Ideas. And actually, I am affiliate with them, just to let the public know. I am an affiliate marketer of them, so I push Trade Ideas all day because that's the way to play. And then you can have Holly be talking to you. Go buy MSTR. Go buy MSTR. So you definitely want that. Yeah, you can't sleep on Holly. Yeah, because Holly works. She wins. She wins every time. You know. But
Yeah.
you was also telling me in regards to like the way. Let's talk about 2021, right? Because it almost seems like 2020 is, well, 2020 is almost done. Do you have that
Sure is.
feeling?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think, if I recall, we are actually about maybe 1 week away from 2021. So how do you see the future in these plays?
So now it's a little bit more difficult with the introduction of this new strain of coronavirus. I can't. I'm sure that's going to have an effect. I know the stimulus piece when they release it, that's going to really change the game a bit for
Yeah,
people.
and I
But
think
at the
if
same
I
time,
recall,
uh,
we are
I
actually
think I
about
think the stocks will do some more movement, going in a positive way. It's just going to be specific stocks.
yeah.
And the thing is to just come up with a list. And like I said, I've actually shared some of the stocks that I'm looking forward to dealing with in 2021 because crypto seems to be in its stride now and it's growing. So anything that's crypto based, when crypto Bitcoin goes up, it's going to affect all the altcoins as well as the stocks that are invested in it. And with MicroStrategy, Square, eBay, and some of the Bitcoin ETFs that are out there now,
Yeah.
I do see 2021 as a year where a lot of regular public companies are going to start using Bitcoin or the other altcoins like Ethereum as their investment, because the whole idea with these companies to have these good quarters where they can do good annual reports, and crypto is now a player, whether you want to not agree with it or you do. It's out there. And MicroStrategy, and you keep hearing me talk about them because they did a great job strategizing getting crypto into their coffers. And
Mm.
basically, at a point, they're going to have like 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollars worth. And so all you need to see is crypto jump to 25, and you just think to do the math, and it's just going to be crazy. I know that I'm pretty sure that MicroStrategy is going to have a very good earnings report in January. It's going to be stellar. So I just look forward to those type of things. The other things I look forward to is the electric vehicles industry, because it seems to be overtaking everything right now. So that's going to be another hot industry. And then biotech, that's never going to go anywhere. And then the technical stocks, I mean, they have their ups and their downs, but basically, they're making a lot of money. I'm going to take a wild guess that Zoom is going to start doing good again, because it seems like we could go into a lockdown again with the rate of coronavirus cases
Yes.
that's going up in the country.
Yes, they was talking about re-locking down the country. And I mean, do you even see that happening anytime soon? Well, I think they was
So,
talking sometime around January or so.
so here's the thing, right? Yeah, I can see them doing it in January because it'll kind of set a pretty decent curve. We
Yep.
got a new president coming in. We're getting rid of our current president. Just say it like that.
Well, I don't know.
Um,
He was talking about making martial law so they can't move him out. You think that's possible?
if it's possible, it'll be the first time ever that that's happened. I don't think it's possible. I
Gotcha.
think eventually he's just going to have to crawl out of there, creep out of there, and just call it a day, because you can't. Nobody seems to be on that ride to support him. I mean, they're supporting him, but nobody's willing to break the law to make it happen. So as long as the laws are followed, he should not be in office. I mean, he lost. He got his chance, just like when he came in office. Nobody tried to fight that. So why is he doing this? Because of his ego. And the ego is always going to be the fall of man, unfortunately. So that's how that goes. Um, but I think 2022 is going to bring a whole lot of different things to light. I'm prayerful of 22 being a great year, because you want to speak that stuff into existence before it happens.
Yes, sir.
And I think the market is going to have its ups and downs, but it'll pretty much be like this year was. I think that let's say, like, if you look at this, if you review this year, so March, the market went down dramatically, and everybody thought that was it, and then it just rebounded, right? Because
Yep.
businesses have to open, businesses got creative, and everybody started using chat, and everybody, more people were allowed to work remote versus being on site. So I think those things are going to help us going forward. And now we have at least two coronavirus cures. So that's something we didn't have before, and I like to see how that plays out. Or should I say vaccines to help help your body to fight it? Let me not say cures to that exact word, but
Oh yeah.
vaccines.
No, I
But
got
I
you.
think we got a lot to look forward to, and like Baby said, this was a hell of a year, man. So I can't. I can't wait to get past it, and I want to send my prayers out to the people who lost family members during this time, because I lost my aunt, and it was tough. And I know
Definitely.
everybody's going through, but we could come through this if we all just pull together for each other.
Yeah, definitely. No, I understand. I'm with you. I'm with you. And also, even when I look at you brought up Riot earlier, and once again, I pulled up that chart. Look how Riot is doing right now. And
It was riotous
yeah,
in
right. Oh
a
wow.
good way.
And I did one. Being that you was talking about coronavirus, let's go back to let's say what's that? Pfizer yeah, no,
PFE.
PFE, right? Yep.
Yep.
Hold on, PFE, and and I mean, wow, look at that. You see that?
Yep.
It's like it hit over bought territory here, which is what around December 20th, right? And we're on the 21st, and then it just dropped again. So and now it looks like it's trying to creep back up. Let's go to what was the other coronavirus play?
Biotech.
Yeah,
I'll give you the BioNTech.
yeah,
So that stock is BNTX.
BNTX. We right there. Boom. Yep. But as you can see, all the way
That
across the
one is
board,
up.
yeah. But you can also see all the way across the board that um, it's a lot of flip floppiness in these trades right now. You know, I
Yep.
think Johnson and Johnson was J and J.
Yep.
Let's go check out Johnson and Johnson. So Johnson and Johnson was actually reaching the highs part at 155, and then just took a dip down to 150. So and now it's trying to creep back up as well. I noticed Moderna was down. You noticed that?
Yes. I
MR,
was
what is it, Moderna?
wasn't surprised.
mRNA? Yeah, I noticed they was down at the fact of okay, so they was down to like 130, I know, and then they hit back
They
up to
kind of rebound.
146, and then they
Yep.
dropped down again, and now they floating sideways. So
Yep.
they in a real funny state right here. Is really crazy to
And
uh
I
huh.
think a lot of these the biotech stocks are going to change as the year comes in. I think we're in a low period, unfortunately. The market. I mean, we're in the Christmas holidays now. Does the market really perform well during this time in a normal period of time? Not necessarily, but I think this is affecting it. But I think January we're going to see a lot of activity. A lot of bad and a lot of good, but I think the good will outweigh the bad, at least in the beginning to the end of January, because we got a lot of stuff going on. I think I think the thing to be looking at now is like I like my if I was looking, I would be looking at AI stocks, right? Because that's hot. That's an on fire part of business right now. Everybody's trying to have AI enabled business,
Yep.
so that's going to be very very big.
Whoa, you see that? I think we had called it AI stocks, and if you go to AI, that's the ticker symbol C3AI. Whew, for
Yeah,
the early
that did
part of
really
the
good
day.
today.
Oh my God, they really
Yeah.
rose up again. And this
Yep.
was what from 141 all the way up to here. Let's go to the peak to around 167. Jeez, they creeping down a little bit back towards the VWAP, but they got a little play earlier.
Oh, they're doing incredibly good. I mean, let's see. They started. Let's see. So what was it? October 23rd.
No,
Oh,
remember they knew they just came
yeah,
in.
yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they just
They're
came
not
in.
even 2 weeks old.
No, not at all. They just came in uh, through their SPAC, I believe. They did a SPAC deal.
Right.
That wasn't your normal IPO. Just like, oh my God, like I said, I cannot wait for Coinbase to hit the market because I'm in. Now I won't tell none of y'all to go borrow money to get in, but I'm gonna try to find a way to get in. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Well, like C3AI, C3.ai They've been just hot coming out the gate from their IPO position. And I mean, eventually I think eventually it'll go down just because that's what happens, but then it's going to continue to surge upwards because it seems like a lot of people are interested in this stock. The thing about IPOs, though, to be honest, is might not be the best idea to chase them out the gate because number one, you'll never get that beginner price because you're not a whale or a big hedge fund or a brokerage house that can buy, that has access to buy before they come to the market. And then the other thing is the price. They may tell you it's going to start at $20, and if the IPO is very successful, it could be $100 before that in that first day of release. So the thing about the IPOs, I would say it would be try to wait until they have their first dip. Now, sometimes they don't dip and they just continue to go up. But if you play options, that might be the better way to play once the option chain is created for the stock. But I think that a lot of times it's very hard to get an IPO out the gate because it's just too much activity, and especially if it's you hear that some big players are involved in it, you know it's going to be a skyrocket out the gate. And you know, Warren Buffett has his hands in it. It's going to be that much worse. Not that I'm saying he's worse because he knows what he's doing. It's just when he endorses something, it just automatically it's like God touched it and said it's good. Now everybody's trying to get it because of FOMO. Yep. But Will said, the IPO for Coinbase is going to be crazy. I think the IPO for DoorDash is going to be crazy. I think the IPO for RobinHood is going to be crazy too. So you're going to have that's one thing. You know something? You just brought that to mind. 2021 is going to be a lot of IPOs to come out, but whether it's SPAC based or full release or however they do it, there's going to be a lot of new stocks hitting the board.
Yeah.
And the trick is to try to find the one that's going to be the next Amazon or Tesla or Apple. I'm seeing that there's a few of the IPOs that's been released this year that have that potential already. So you know, pay attention to the IPOs, but you don't necessarily have to try to get them right away. You get them after they've been out for a minute. You know, once they have the option change, that's another way you can do it. But getting out the gate is pretty difficult.
A little dip right here today from 172 being the highs down to 155 being the low. So the IPOs, they are a little bit speculative, and also they're more volatile. So you want to be careful when you're jumping into an IPO. You don't want to get like Antonio said, you don't want to get stuck at the gate with something that you think is going to go good, and then it just takes a while to take off. Because I could tell you, I remember when Square was at $12. You know what I mean? They started out and then they went down, and now look at Square. I mean, come on, let's go to Square, because you spoke about Square too as a Bitcoin play, which
I like
pretty
Square
powerful.
for a lot of reasons. Number one, the Cash App. If you've never used a Cash App, you need to really look into that, because that's, besides Zelle, that's the quickest way to get money transfers from somebody you know and love or that you trust. And a lot of people have been using the Cash Apps during this coronavirus pandemic, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it. But the Cash App made a lot of money for Square this year that's coming to a close. When they decided to add crypto into it, that just changed it even more so, because the crypto is just going to make them more money as it keeps going up. And just to touch on crypto again, so I can see it hitting 25K maybe before the year ends, because all you got to do is have get more people to buy, and that's the supply and demand is going to drive that. And they're saying, not me, but they're saying it could go anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000. Now, I don't know what the time frame they're saying that is, but I know that it just jumped to 20, then it jumped to 21, then it jumped to 22, then it jumped to 24 in less than a couple of days, not a whole week. So that is going to be a driver for a lot of places to invest in it for their companies. And let's just face it, the rest of the world is already using it.
And if you look right here on the screen, when you look at the RSI, it went through a period where there was getting to the overbought side, and then it went down to the oversold side, and now as you can see, it is starting its little trying to creep back up area. You see, so when you look at RSI, for those that don't know about RSI indicators, when you look at RSI and you're looking at these charts and you see it between 30 to 40, yes, it can dip down a little bit more, but these are normally buy indicators when you know when to buy, because that means you got all this room for it to go back up into the oversold, well, the actual overbought territory. Down here is the oversold territory, for those who don't know, and up here is the overbought territory. So if you look back, it was at the overbought side a little bit, and then there was a bit of a sell-off, and you know that's why RSI is pretty cool, because RSI always matches what the candlesticks are matching, and then as you can see, it's coming up a little bit. So, and you look right here when you see these long lines, that's most of the time that's institutional traders.
The whales. Yep.
Yep, those are the whales. So, because we don't produce enough money, and when I say we, I'm talking about myself. I don't know about all of y'all that are watching, but
You and me both.
I don't produce that type of capital to be able to. And remember too, when these people are selling, it's not all the time that the stock is bad or the coin is bad. It's just they're releasing some money, and they're trying to keep Bitcoin in a sense from bubbling. Or you probably heard it where they say as a phrase, you know, Bitcoin is in a bubble, and you
Right.
go, oh really? Is it really in a bubble, or is it just doing well? You know, so those are the things that you want to look out for. Now, if you take a look and you think about, let's look at Ethereum against the dollar. So I mean Ethereum about what 609.44 right now, and look at that right there on the RSI. It's pointing upward. So it actually looks like an airplane about to take off. And you can't beat that.
Does that mean that it's gonna? Does that mean that this can go up in value as well?
Yes, indeed. So realistically, right, when you're looking at the chart, so you move it over to get a better view, right? And actually, you could semi-move it over a long way, but right now, either this area here, this I'm gonna call it a zone. So this zone right here could be your resistance zone, which means since it's right here, they may push this way back up into the zone. Now, this is still a lot of money to make, because you're talking about from 609 to 620. So you're looking at an $11 move there, if it was possible. But if this is resistance, then you know you can't expect it to pass it until it does, and then it might just creep back down a little bit as a small sell-off, you know?
Yep. And then another add-on to what Will is saying is, like, if Bitcoin skyrockets again, which it will, don't know when, but will, you're going to see everything else go up as well, because that's just what happens every time Bitcoin surges. All the rest of the altcoins follow suit.
Definitely. And you could tell too, because look at right here. So it went up right here, then it went right back down, but then it creeped back up again. And I'm going to tell you, even in these small little moves, you know, $5 could make a major impact on your account, depending on how many shares you actually, you know, buying into. So,
Yep.
you know, some people play it so well where they could short somewhere around here and get out right here, or somewhere around here, and then expect the momentum to shoot back up. So, you know, you want to make sure too. Hold on, let me go over here and show you this as well, because if you look at the actual, so this is creating a trend line really from that period. That was just a trend line where, you know, and like Antonio said, you could tell because Bitcoin is doing the same thing.
Right.
So as Bitcoin intends to, move forward again, then you're going to see Ethereum move forward. For those that are not in, because you got to still remember, Antonio, there's a lot of people that's still not in these plays yet.
Yeah, I realize that. I do realize that.
You
And
know?
that's why we're talking about it, so people can have a better understanding of why these institutional companies are buying into this, because you're literally talking about electronic secure tokens, so to speak, that are costing more than precious metals.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
for
indeed.
instance, palladium is probably one of the higher precious metals, and Bitcoin is pretty much, well, it was at 24,000, it was 10 times the value of palladium.
Wow.
So that's something to look at, because normally when the market drops, people start buying precious metals. But now you have a second option, and it's a bigger option because it has more value than a precious metal. Now, don't get me wrong. The Bitcoin and altcoins, they're very volatile. But at the same time, why are these companies buying it? Because they see the potential windfall effect of the price increase or the value increase or the value add. So with that being said, you really have to look at Bitcoin or the other altcoins, Ethereum, Litecoin, and say, okay, when should I get in? When should I start looking at determining that this is something I want to play with? And like, if you're using Robinhood, you have access to all three right off the top. If you're using Coinbase, you have options to those and more. So it's just a matter of getting your head wrapped around an alternative investment, because that's what this is. And the rest of the world seems to be on par with that, with what I just said, because they're using this stuff to buy everything they want. And the old term used to be cash is king, but outside the United States, the crypto is king because they're using it to buy stuff. And you don't want to go, like, instead of converting cash over, if you had Bitcoin, that's a medium of acceptable cash in other countries. So that's something to think about. And then the other thing to think about is, look, if you're investing anyway, you don't want to be in one type of deal. Like, if you're just doing stocks and that's it, you're a one-trick pony.
You're
But if you're
bugging.
doing stocks, real estate, precious metals, Bitcoin, you're doing diversified investing, which is a better plan than doing a single deal type investment strategy.
Oh, wow.
So,
You see this, Tone? You see Microsoft?
mhm.
Microsoft just did a big, nice, juicy forward up. Wow, look how overboard it is. Oh, I tell you, your man will know what he's talking about. Somebody going in Microsoft hard. And actually, Microsoft is almost artificial intelligence play too in the long run.
And they're building their own processors now for their computers in their data center, which is just like amazing.
Yes, yes, indeed.
And they have a ton of AI patents. I mean, if you Google Microsoft AI patents, I think the number is something like 11,000 patents so far.
Wow, 11,000.
So they're doing, like, actually it's one of my favorites. I don't have a lot of positions in it yet, but I'm going to get it. And I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just explaining why it's so attractive.
Yes, yes, definitely. And just to recap with you folks that do understand that InvestCurb isn't investment professionals. We're not liable to any losses you may have. Only trade what you understand and never based on anyone's opinion. Our channel is for entertainment purposes only, but we do provide you with great advice. So, realistically, I'm going to tell you right now, for those that look at charts real well, okay, when you see this right here, and this right here, and this right here, so these 3 points of interest right here, Microsoft is moving up, but trust me, you have some people that is about to set this up for a sell position, as you can see. So these are for all those day traders right here. They waiting around like behind the bushes and the gardens. You know what I mean, Antonio? Just to get they
Yep.
sneak on, just to try to pop a couple of dollars before the day is out. If you know what I mean.
Yep. And,
That
and we also want to add this. We are for Robinhood users, because Robinhood staged a platform that gives you more freedom to do the things you want to do. And if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
using Robinhood, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't started using Robinhood, it might be a consideration to use, but I will still tell you, you want to have your, you know, your Fidelity or your TD Ameritrade or Trade Station accounts. But, you know, if you're new to trading, you know, this might be the simplest way to start. You will graduate to other platforms, but it's a good place to start.
Oh, yeah.
And Robinhood, the Robinhood users, me being one of them, Will being one of them, they have a lot of influence on what's happening in the stock world because there's more people jumping in now because since the pandemic came into play, and it's a very easy way to start. The thing is is to understand the technicals. Like Will is excellent with trending stocks and looking at the charts. He's actually teaching me, and I'm really good at analyzing stocks to see which ones I want to buy, and we come together and collab on it and say, okay, this is good, this is not good, and you know, we're giving information. It's definitely for entertainment purposes, but like I'll say this: we're in a time now where you can learn anything online, and if you take the time to understand these topics that we're talking about, you too can do really well. I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're going to make $1 million, right? But I will tell you, you can make a living off of doing this for yourself by learning. If you have a hunger to learn and you have a drive, and you take our little tidbits and apply them, you will do quite well. Because I've done quite well, and Will has done quite well. We taught ourselves, and the stuff that I know, I share with him, and the stuff he knows, he shared with me. And we haven't known each other that long. We actually met through a mutual friend,
Yeah.
and we just clicked right away. I mean, completely
Seth.
clicked.
Yep, Seth Melendez, Weird Geeks. You see a
Yeah.
lot of Weird Geeks on my show, and if
Yep.
you guys don't know, Weird Geeks is a basically dealing with internet security and security measures for computers. So any of you businesses out there, look up Weird Geeks, and that's WAREGEEKS, and you could definitely check them out. That's Weird Geeks. You gotta throw in that shout out to Seth Melendez who
Yes.
put this together. So
Yes.
we never forget, always on point. And hey, you got to do some research on this Microsoft thing, because I don't know if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but whoever's going in on Microsoft, they going in hard, and Microsoft is moving up. Like normally they would say, when you see this many bars moving up, something is going on.
Hey, I'm gonna try to do just what you said.
Yep.
Waiting for one thing to come up, and I don't know why my
And
computer's full.
plus, you know, we got to share, Antonio. It's sometimes good to have a partner in doing this, and Antonio has been a great partner for me because he's like highly on the fundamental side, and I'm highly on the technical side, and a lot of times when you get a partner like that, is good to like share ideas and bond with, and don't be judgmental on ideas. You got to hear what the person is saying and then weigh it out. Don't necessarily make a move. Yo, this is a good play. That's not a bad play. Because this is all speculation anyway. But the main thing is, somebody else may see what you don't see. So there's no way I would ever sit here and argue with Antonio with any pick that he comes up with and say, oh, that's not a good play. What is
And
wrong
vice
with you?
versa.
That don't make sense. I can't see them doing well. Yes, that is the point. You can't see it. He can see it. So if I was Warren Buffett, he's Charlie Munger. Or if he's Warren Buffett, I'm Charlie Munger. Listen, Charlie Munger is in the background to Berkshire Hathaway. He really doesn't like the limelight. Or not even saying Warren Buffett likes the limelight, but somebody has to speak for the company.
Yep.
But the main thing is, though, I'm pretty sure Charlie Munger is a beast, and Warren Buffett tells you that all the time. Like, yeah, he don't talk a lot, but yeah, he makes a lot of these plays just as much as I do, or he's
Yep.
the one calling the plays just as much as I am. So it's great, and you know, I don't mean to ramble on, but it's great to have a team player like that. And then you never know, you might just turn around and start a big firm one day, you know, because all this goes somewhere, you know.
Yep.
All of this
And
always goes somewhere. Go ahead.
And I can answer the question now. So Citigroup raised their rating to buy from neutral and lifted the price target by 19%. That's what happened. So people are making a move on this right now. That's where all this is coming from. So like, good for Microsoft because they do a lot of good things.
Yeah, that's a big raise. 19%.
Yeah.
I've seen the market go down freaking 2 to 10%, and it seemed like a worldwide crash.
Yeah, I'm looking at another article that says Microsoft new highs inevitable. So it's looking like Microsoft is going to have a run. And they're also talking about the $2 trillion valuation they're going to have. So, yes, it looks like they're going to be ready to roll. So you heard it here. Microsoft might be a good option to consider.
Oh, my God. So I have Microsoft as a play, and I think I have Microsoft for, let's see, for January 15th, 2021. I wouldn't say get in now. You might want to extend that out a little further. I've had them for a little while, and let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm glad they did that because, believe it or not, let me see. January 15th, what's that, another 3 weeks away, Antonio?
No, well, kind
Almost,
of,
yeah.
Yeah, it's about 3 weeks away, yeah.
Well, that's decent. At least I'm not making a 1 day to 1 week play because those are semi-dangerous, But
I've been liking Microsoft, and I've been jumping in and out of the stock, but I like it more now because they're talking about their own processor for their data centers, which means their cloud products are gonna their value is gonna definitely surge. I mean, it's just they're unstoppable. Everybody talks about Amazon, and I'm not belittling Amazon, but Microsoft is getting comparable in some spaces and better at doing some things than Amazon. And I'm speaking from my other side thing, which is me being a cloud guy. So I understand cloud pretty well, and I can tell you Microsoft is right there with Amazon. Don't let people tell you something different. But I do see Microsoft as it's going to continue to grow. I mean,
talking Amazon, let me ask you this: Do you see Do you see Amazon surpassing the 3,500 mark? Because they already at 3,200. And a lot of people sometimes would like to know how far do you think Amazon will go?
So this is my personal opinion, and I'm not a one of these professional analysts, but I will tell you this. I talked about this in our last podcast, and I want to give a shout out to Tony Smith on illuminating me on this. Amazon has what I like to call or I'll just paraphrase Tony. Amazon has a period of time where stock kind of flops, and this is that magical month where it kind of doesn't do anything. Not saying they're not doing the work to be rewarded for what they're doing. I'm saying the stock just tends to just sort of freeze during the like right before Christmas all the way into like January, and then like January, February, it starts to lift. So, and that's a pattern that I've seen.
That's key info right there. Can you just repeat that? Because I'm listening and I'm taking notes on that one. You just said they're known to do that, right?
Yeah, the stock is known to the stock seems to lay dormant like around Thanksgiving to like the beginning of the year, and then it starts to get active, and then like February, like end of January, February, it starts to have a lot of activity. And the question you asked is, can it go to 3,500? So my answer is, and again, I'm saying this as a non-professional guy, I think Amazon can hit 4,000 by the time we get to July, August. That it'll be a $4,000 stock.
Yeah, because they don't seem to be going down.
No, they're just being quiet right now. They got a lot of stuff on the pike. They got this robo-taxi stuff going on now, the robo-bus or taxi. I'm not sure what they call it. They're really going into beast mode, compete mode. So I don't see that stock staying where it's at now. I actually, even though $3,000 plus is not a little bit of money, it's going to go to 4,000 and beyond. Like by the time we get past the end of 2021, that stock could be a $5,000 stock.
And you actually told me before one time, Antonio, that they're going the route of trying to be like a Berkshire Hathaway. So for those that don't know, I don't think Jeff Bezos ever plans on splitting this stock? Is that something that you found out in the fundamentals?
Well, that's what I've gathered. I mean, like, and I know last year, I mean this year they were talking. There was some talk about splitting. I'm not sure if Amazon was the one behind that going out there, but they didn't do it. And the talk was really heavy around the time that Apple and Tesla did their split, but they didn't do a split. So if they do not split, they could be a $4,000 to $5,000 stock. 4,000 by the time we get to mid-year, and then 5,000 by the time we get to like October, November, easily. Wow. And so if I was reading what I said, I basically saying if you did a nice long call, 7-8 month call, it's going to cost you not a lot of money, but that contract could pay pretty good. And the other piece I would say was do some puts against it as well, short puts like 1, 2 months, 3 months, and you'll probably do really well with that one. But I do see Amazon hitting the $5,000 mark next year. Now, can it go beyond that? Only time will tell, but I can see it doing that because I look at the numbers that it did for this year, which were phenomenal. And, you just got to pay attention to that. Like these companies now, these big tech companies now, they're not like the regular tech companies of back in the day. They surge real hard. I mean, I'm looking at the charts right now, and Amazon is up to $32.10 today. It's up to $8 a share.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I look at March 13th of this year, Amazon was at $17.85. And then I look at the complete high where it was at its highest, it was at $35.31. So that's something to pay attention to. So it doubled from March 16th to September 2nd. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. It doubled in 6 months almost, pretty much. So you got to pay attention to that. And that's my key indicator. And like, if you go look at the 5-year, we go 5 years ago, the stock was selling December 31st, 2015. It was selling for $675.89. And from there, it jumped all the way to 3,500. It's down now. So it is a buy. It's just an expensive buy, but you won't be sorry. You'll look back on it and say, wow. And the thing is, you want to get it before it starts going up, because once it starts going past this $3,200 mark, when it starts moving, it's gonna go way beyond that, and then it's gonna be harder to get.
Now you said the 5-year area, right? So you're talking 2015, and 2015, man, this
December
thing
31st.
was at $364.
Well, I didn't go that far back. I just went to because we're in December. I just went to
December. Yeah, I start 2016, January 1st or 4th, around that area. It's still at 581. So, Jesus, if you was in at the right time, buddy, woo-wee.
And the thing is, it's going to keep doing that as long as Amazon keeps doing what they're doing.
Let me ask you this question, because you are a wise trader, and I know that because I talked to you. For those who don't know and are listening in, do not sleep in on Antonio. Now, I know a lot of people talk about day trading, right? And then a lot of people talk about swing trading, and then some people talk about investing. Now, anytime we look at these charts, and I know you've mentioned to me before that what you like to do is you do like to stretch the chart out, because you like to look at it and see what it has done in the long-term situation.
Yes.
You're not looking at short term. And I really wonder, how successful are some of these day traders, or are they truly investing? Because it still seems like investing makes way more sense than trying to day trade and make daily money. I know you need daily bread. You got to eat every day. But are most of these plays better long term than short term? Like, learn about the company and then let it spread all the way out, and give yourself like a 2 to 3 year play, instead of thinking right now, I got to have these returns right now and losing out.
So I'm going to answer the question this way. And I know a lot of people are going to have flack about this, but it's the first thing I look at. What's the first thing I look at, Will?
The 1 year?
The 52-week performance.
Yeah.
If I see two drastically different numbers, The low number being the 52-week low being a low number. Like let's say the 52-week number, the low one is $50. And then I see the other number at $600. That tells me to look at that stock. That's screaming, look at what I can do. And then I do more investigation. I look at you know, what some of the AI based sites are saying about it, and then I make my decision, you know, and then the buzz on the internet. And usually I would give myself a 95 percentile on that, right? And I will say this as well. Sometimes it doesn't move right away. Like sometimes it can take a month or two, but when it moves a lot. And I've gotten really good at that. And so when you're looking at the option plays, and I'm answering your question, by the way, option plays there's many ways, there's many strategies, right? And I'm not going to go into the condor and the iron butterfly. I'm just going to keep it simple, right? If you are going to buy an option, right, the first thing you got to make sure you can do is money you could afford to lose, right? Because I don't want to say that options is gambling, but it's kind of close to that. Basically, you're taking a hedge to say that the stock is going to go up to a certain price or it's going to go down to a certain price. So with that being said, to answer the question you just asked me, you can buy a 1 year or longer, 1 year or 2 year option. It's not going to be exactly cheap, but basically, if you look at what I said about Amazon, I said this year, Amazon could go to 4,000 within a couple of months, 4 to 6 months, right? It's already at 32, 34. The highest has been at 35. So $500 is not a big jump for a stock that costs $3,500. They're doing well with the coronavirus. The only place where I say they're faltering a little bit is on the deliveries. But, you know, we all understand that, you know, drivers work hard and sometimes there's a shortage of drivers to deliver this stuff. And, you know, we're very thankful that these guys go out of their way to do this for us, whether it's Amazon, UPS, FedEx, or the restaurant chains who deliver, right? Because without them,
well, you know, it's funny. You're talking about drivers. I think a lot of people just don't want to catch that COVID. But besides that, Amazon would have had a fleet of drivers.
Yes.
They would have definitely had a fleet of drivers, and not even saying that they won't have it once all this stuff peels off.
Right. And they've had problems with that already. Everybody, the restaurants, everybody. But the thing with Amazon is, using that as an example, you would do a 1 year call or a 1.5 year call or a 2 year call, right? Now, like I said, it's not going to be cheap. I'll let you look at the options to figure that out for yourself. And then when you buy that particular call, whether it's a year or a 2 year or a 1.5 years or a year and a month, just as long as you're going over a year, you then do short calls and puts at the same time against the same stock. And like you could do a 1 month or 2 month call. I would say do a 2 month call, even if you're going to sell it in a couple of days, right? Because it may jump up enough where you want to sell it. This is called hedging your bet. So you're making short money on the short-term investment, whether it goes up or down with the call and the put, and then you're making long-term money on the 1 year plus option. When you buy the 1 year plus option, after the first year, you're no longer in that capital gains area because you had the option for more than a year. So your tax burden becomes a lot less. I mean, I could go into that too a little bit. Like, so you want to be doing this stuff in an IRA-based account. So you start off in Robinhood so you can learn. And then once you learn, you open up some kind of IRA on one of the other platforms like the TD Ameritrades, the Trade Stations, or Fidelity, or any other one I'm not talking about. But that's a way to like get the tax breaks as well. And with an IRA, depending on which one you get, you don't have to return the money right away. It gives you like a 90-day period. Now, I'm not going to go all the way into that, but like it's something important to think about, to know. And that's why I'm putting it out there.
Oh, yeah,
but
definitely.
And then the other thing is you get to do, I think it's $3,000 write-offs for your losses max per year with the stocks. And, you know, like these are things that nobody tells you. You learn the hard way, or you don't know until you go do your taxes. But that's one thing to do. But getting back to what you're saying, a long call is a good thing because basically you're going to ride it through the ups and the downs, and like you're more likely to gain than lose. But the short term as well is you hedging your bet on the long. So you're making your long money. You're doing a year and a day or a year plus investment that can pay you a reaming dividend. And then you got your short calls against that very same stock, calls and puts that just add on to what you're already doing. So
Well,
I like that play. And
hey,
I'm not a believer in hitting the strike price all the time. Sometimes, hey, I don't care about the strike price. If I'm quadrupling or quintupling my money and I'm not at the strike, that's okay too.
hey, Antonio, I'm gonna step away from the mic real quick. But if you notice, what I put on the screen was CELH, and I know
Yep.
you've been talking to the people about this, and I just want to show them where I mean, CELH was at 452 back in May 20th, and now
Yep.
it's at $40. So that's a great move for the year. And
Yep.
while I step out just for a couple of moments, I want you to talk to the people about that. And I have it up on the screen right now.
Okay. So with Celsius Holdings, which is CELH, I wasn't tasked, so I'm a member of a group of investors, and one of the other people on the list who I knew and I brought to the group, they were tasked with finding a consumer stock that could perform really well. So like I knew they were new, so I went looking around like I do when I do my investments, and I came across CELH. And I looked at it, and the very first thing I did is whether it was Google or Amazon. I'm sorry, Fidel. Sorry, I got all these names in my head. Um, well, the Google search and looking at the graph, or the Yahoo search looking at the graph, and the first thing I noticed was the 52-week low, which was $3.22, right? And then I saw the upper number was 41.54 for the 52-week high, right? When the year's still not out yet. And I saw the vast difference. So $3.22, I mean, you can take $3 and buy you a hamburger, maybe, right? And eat it, and that's the end of that money. But I was just amazed at that price and what it jumped to. And then looking at it, this is what I always do. So like that 441.54, what I do is I do the multiple of three. Let's just say $3 going into $40, right? So $3 goes into $40 more than 10 times, right? So like here's my disparate math. So right now, CELH, the high was $41, right? I'm taking off the 51 cents. So I do the math of times 8. So 40 times 8 is 320. I'm thinking that this stock can hit 320 next year. Now, I could be wrong and it could be less, but I don't think this stock will be anything less than 150 bucks or higher. So like just at 150 bucks, that's like a 3 times effect. I think this stock has a probability to go that high. So like if I was doing this as a stock and I brought 100 shares of this and I just sat on the 100 shares, once I got that 100 shares, you're talking about a significant profit. If I was doing options, which is more likely what I would do, the sky is the limit because the metrics are higher. And the difference between buying a stock and buying options is when you buy a stock and it goes up in price, you're good. But when that stock goes down in price, when you own the stock, you don't make any money, you lose money. But when you do an option, you can play a call saying it's going to go up, and you can play an option saying it's going to go down. And you're going to keep hearing me talk about these things because they're very important to understand. But Celsius Holdings, like I said earlier, I brought the drink and I like the drink. Would I buy it again? I would. And I'm not just saying that. I'm not being endorsed. I'm not endorsed by the company or anything like that, but I just like the way it tastes. And I see now why it's doing so well. So I would say that if you look at this the way I look at it, not that you have to look at it exactly the way I look at it, it just makes sense. The market is down today and this is up, and there's a reason. Stocks don't go up. Stocks don't go up on bad days. They usually stay down because if you look at everything else is down. This one is up. So it's a compelling reason to look at it. And I think we'll use this one because I talk about it so much. It's just a great stock. I don't have anything negative to say about it. I have it in my portfolio. I'm doing option plays against it, and I like what it's doing. So my thing would be to just to look at it. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you to just look at it and make an informed decision.
Oh yeah, I see.
And then go from there.
That makes a lot of sense because I know you informed me about this one, and lordy, I can tell you, when you get a stock that moves from $5 to $40. Don't sleep on that company. They doing something right, and it ain't just about people sitting home, because you could drink anything while you sitting home. You know.
Monster. I was gonna say Old English, but that's a little out of play right now.
Old English. Wow. You did not. Hold on. As the saying go, you did not just show your age, brother.
Oh yeah, I sure did. Well, I sure did. I'm proud to be here though.
You probably have some people sitting there saying, "What's the Old English?"
Okay, Koki 900, Mad Dog 2020. All that stuff was relevant at one point in time.
Yeah, and look at these charts. Like, if you can see, even right here, I mean, you're well above VWAP. So these are great moves that it plays. Sometimes they go a little bit below VWAP, and if you hear me talk about VWAP so much, it's a volume weight. Okay, it's a volume weight indicator, and pretty much, the VWAP is used by the professionals. For those who don't know, so many other people might like to look at Bollinger Bands and all those other things, but when you step into the world and you want to know what the big dogs do, you want to be a big dog player, then you got to do what the big dogs do, and the big dogs play with VWAP. So just to let you know, this blue line across this screen is the VWAP screen, okay? And just to let you know, this stock is constantly above VWAP all the time.
Which is incredible.
All the time, yeah, because most companies cannot handle that. And another one I want you to talk about, because you in the tech world as well, is this FEYE. So
I'm not okay. So it's funny you.
I know you're not probably super prepared for FEYE.
FEYE is a good product too, because it's been doing really well. My buddy Tony always talks about this one, and it's a banger. I'm pulling up the charts. I could just look at it, and down the line, people will be sharing our charts, so you can look at this stuff with us. So we're not pulling your leg or anything like that. But
now the funny part is, I was going to jump into FEYE earlier, but I did have a feeling that if I tried to jump in, I was going to be too late. And they had an awesome run. Now they're a little bit in a consolidated form. So I mean, you never know if it's going to go up or down. But if you look at the RSI is on a little downtrend. But I mean, when I wanted to get in, I kind of had a feeling that they was going to shoot up today, and they did. So when you want to talk about stocks moving up, even on a bad day, and for FEYE to do that, go ahead.
That's something to pay attention to. And I like FEYE because I was told about it, and the first thing I'm looking at is the 52-week low, which is 754, and then the 52-week high is 2080, right? So that's not really a big jump. It's basically almost triple the price, right? But the thing that I also look at this is, with time, this could be $100, and then its low price could be the $20, right? And then I'm like, wow, okay, so it went up. I'm gonna give you another one to look at. Look up ZS. That's Zscaler. And the only reason I know about that one because it's a product that I supported at one point when I was working at this place.
Zscaler, got you. What do they do?
So Zscaler has a bunch of products, but basically it's a firewall product. It's kind of like a firewall product, but the long story short is look at the 52-week low, and then look at the 52-week high. The 52-week low is $35. The 52-week high is $200. That's a lot of movement.
Yeah. This is one long lineup, and that means institutional money is being dropped into this thing like there's no tomorrow.
And you know why, right? Because the product is super robust. And it's a guy, an Indian guy that created the company. I don't, let me see, what's his name? Really smart guy. And I watched some of his podcasts about him talking about this product. And when I looked at this product back in March, so let's go back in March. I looked at this product No, February was February. So the product was somewhere around, I would say, I think it was $65 and it dropped down to 50 something dollars, right? And then when the coronavirus hit, it hit $42. And I was like, well, he sounded good, but this, I don't know, the stock dropped, but it was the whole market that dropped.
Yeah.
So on March 12th, it went to $39.50. And then from March 12th to now, it's at $199. That's just insane.
Oof.
But it's a great product. I mean, that you look at that institutional line right there, that thick line,
Yeah.
that tells it all right there.
Oof.
I didn't even know about the line. I just know how this thing is performing. But again, I saw the 52-week low and the 52-week high. And you got a lot of old school guys who's like, that doesn't matter. Oh, it matters. That when I see these numbers in a year, it matters to me because it's usually a telltale sign that stock is doing something great, especially when you go to the graph and you see the arc is up. Now, he's looking at the RSI chart and I'm looking at the regular chart just for the stock. And it's been on a constant upwards bound movement since March, since the pandemic started.
Jesus.
And I like seeing it.
Oh yeah. No, I can see why you made that call. That was
Yeah.
a
But I don't.
powerful call.
And I want people to understand it's not just that. That's the thing that gets my attention first, and then I do the analysis. I look at what the buzz is on the stock. This one I kind of knew because everybody likes it. Where in the field of industry I'm working in.
Yeah.
Because what happens is when you use a conventional connection secured into a network, like if you use a VPN, what it does is it slows down the connection. So like everything is kind of like slow. With Zscaler, you still maintain the robustness of the site, speed, and the secure connection. And it's why everybody likes it. That's why the market capitalization for this company is $16 billion.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, they grew dramatically from March to now. They're a big player now, and they're going to just continue to grow.
And that's ZS, right?
Yep, ZS for Zscaler.
Yep.
Pretty good product. You guys don't need to know what the product is. I mean, if you want to learn, you just go to YouTube, but the product is getting implemented everywhere because it's doing such a great job.
Wow, and that's a phenomenal move that they did this year.
And this is like proves the point of what
And that's not a COVID play either, right?
Nah, man, nah.
There you go.
This is an institutions trying to get their secure connections for their remote users, and they like the robustness of the product over the stuff that's out there.
Got you.
So companies are buying this in drags, and I can tell you the same people who are buying it probably said, you know what, we need to invest in this.
Yes, because they saw the light, huh?
They saw the light, yeah, because it's one of the best products out there for what it does.
Let's check your other buddies.
Too much because I don't know the product, but I know Tony likes it, and he's a security guy.
Got you. And when you say security, you mean IT security, not security guard. Not for those that don't know, when you say security, we ain't talking security guard, because.
And look, I'm looking at, so you know what I'm looking at. I won't say what the product is because it's my product, but I'm looking at the institutional ownership, and I'm gonna just tell you from right here. So you got Vanguard, BlackRock, Alliance, JP Morgan Chase. You got all the big DE Shaw, Whale Rock Capital, First Trust Advisors, the Teachers Insurance. Man, that's big. They're a big one.
Wow,
and Lord Abbott. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got 10 institutional investors that are going all in on this, and it's big money that they're putting out for it.
What?
So I
just jumped in a QuantumScape. Which one are you talking about?
No, I'm still talking about Zscaler.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, wow.
So there's so much institutional interest and investments in this. You got to say to yourself, why are they doing that? Because the product works really well.
Because they see the money.
It's ringing bells.
Yeah. They see the money.
And then QuantumScape, that's a crazy one right there, because QuantumScape has a battery that's outperforming the Tesla battery. I don't need to say no more than that.
Yep. Yep.
So
they're up for the day.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what's funny? Is the market still down or is the market back up? Because as far as what we're doing is we showing these people, if they're paying attention, all the stocks that are moving up for the day. Not the ones that are going down, but all the ones that are moving up for the day. And it gets no better than that.
And like I tell Will, everybody, I don't go by the market indexes. Just tell you.
Yeah, he don't do that as much as I do.
I look at my stock positions and I say, okay, the market's doing really well. So like my stuff is so weird, as you can see, that my stuff will be up even on a bad day, and that's what I want. I do have a few of the commercial ones in there, just so when the days are normal, I still get a push up, but I'm operating in total ambiguity with the stocks that nobody listens to. And I'm sure some of you guys have heard of some of the stocks, but I know there's some you have never heard of before. And like, I specialize in looking for those unknown tangibles because they bear some good fruit.
And that's where the money at.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, right, you want to have a mixture of the commercial stuff that you know about, and I would say a bigger mixture of the unknown stuff, because those unknown ones will keep you from getting buried. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been times when the market's been so bad, everything was down, and you can't help that. But like a day like today, the market's not that great. But, I have some performance.
Yeah, no, it's not. It hasn't been really that great. And I mean, like I said, when it goes down, sometimes it goes down hard, and it really, it tends to ruin your mood. But that depends on what type of player you are, because sometimes it still makes a bit of a difference.
And I say this to Will all the time, and it's me more or less reinforcing myself, because he's already good that way. I'm like, I can't complain about the losses, because I certainly don't complain about the gains. Yeah. And like, if you can kind of have that mantra in your head, as long as you're not losing all the time, then you'll be all right. Because when those days hit where you lost, you've made so much during your gains, you don't feel the pinch as much.
Well, plus a lot of the stuff you have to understand the way the market plays. So the market inhales and exhales, and times when you think you down, you up, and then times when you think you up, you end up being down. And I mean, sometimes it even gets to the point where, and I know now we're talking about trading psychology, but I know sometimes it gets to the point where you feel so down, and then next thing you know, you take a look up and you're like, oh, thank God it came back. So never get yourself way too worried with the stock market, because, Warren Buffett says when the market is down, that's my indication to buy more. I'm looking for more when it's down, because I know it's going to go back up. And that's when you know you have experience with trading, because and it's so weird, Antonio, when you hear the professionals say, that they don't get emotional with it. And sometimes it's hard not to get emotional with it, right? But any true trader is not going to get emotional with it. Because, I mean, I've seen my account drop, and then I've seen my account go back up by the end of the day, and it was like, woof, thank God. Thank God it went back up. And then you might have a long, drawn-out period where it goes down. But, I mean, so far we in a period where the market has just been moving up mostly, or a lot of comeback. I figured, especially, with this, with the fact that they're giving out the stimulus money, I thought the market would be rocking today. But
it was that other news that kind of threw everything off with the new strain of coronavirus. The UK is in a bad state right now. That's what I think did it. Because I thought the same thing until I heard that news, and I was like, man, we got 2 antivirus therapies out. 2 vaccines out there. I said, man, it's going to be a lovely day. I mean, it's still kind of a lovely day, but it could have been a lot better. And like the thing is like, try to take the good with the bad, and it's not easy, like, believe me. But if you're playing this stock game, you better have the stomach for it. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you said that too, because you have to have the stomach for it. But it can change your life. And if you know any better, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also ding ding ding, ring the alarm. And that way you will be posted to when me and Antonio make more of these, because we giving you good information. We definitely are. And we're not forcing you to trade anything. We just giving you the information and news that we learn about and we find out about. And Antonio, this remind me when I used to listen to 1010 News as a kid, and you just hear the people talking about the information and the plays that's being made.
Now, I mean, you sent me an email earlier that had some fantastic plays on it, and I mean, right now your picking is phenomenal.
Man, thanks. I can't take the credit, man. I prayed about it first and foremost, and then I stayed up many a night. So my wife was like, "What the heck are you doing? Well, you're breaking night." I was like, "I'm trying to understand how this market works," and good
Well,
friends that I come across, such as yourself, that definitely always helps. I just put a lot of work in
it's
because I
for their
kind of feel
benefit. It's for their benefit.
we you can learn. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's for everybody's benefit. You know. Yeah.
I'm doing it for the culture as well, but I'm not just doing it for the culture. I'm doing it for the people who are afraid to do this because I was afraid to do it. I was actually afraid to try to understand stocks, and I'm saying it so you guys understand that
That you're
it
not the
wasn't
only
like
ones.
I'm a super smart guy. It was just that I had a no quit attitude, and I said I'm going to learn this. I'm at least understand some of this so I could try to make some money off it. And I've done well. I've done well. I've made mistakes too, but I've done well. And so I just want to encourage anybody on that's listening to this. Hey, I didn't know how to do any of this stuff, and I just applied myself, and I just went all in. It was like if I don't get this right, I'm going to die, and I don't want to die, so I'm going to learn.
You ain't lying. Yeah, you're not lying.
And I
Lordy,
was sharing
lordy.
something with you, Will. So you know that somehow I got credits on Chartmill.
They gave you credit, yeah, cause you are
Yeah,
you are
they gave
active
me.
user.
I can do the full view again now. I don't know how long, but I can. And this is another one I'm giving out there. And I know Will didn't expect this, but Chartmill, use it. It's a great tool, but they give you full access to it for about 30 days, and you'll see what I mean. All the stuff that it has, it's incredible. It's really incredible. It wasn't my main go-to tool, but like it's hard to live without it. Let's just put it that way.
Chart mill.
Chart, put the T in there. Chartmill.
Yep, yep. Hold on. I'm getting old, folks. I'm getting old.
So that's chartmill.com. You got it.
And look at that.
So I'm not going to explain what the site does because that just makes it too easy. But you put your ticker in there and then you just look around, and I'm telling you, you'll be amazed, and you'll get hooked on it. And then when your 30 days is up, you'll want to make the decision to buy it. I haven't did it. I haven't pulled the trigger just yet, but I am. I
Got,
love this tool.
got you. So they give
So
you
like,
market statistics, volume, sector performance today, who's doing well, personal tickers, all of that good stuff, right?
institutional holdings, yes.
Oh yeah, that makes
Even the
sense.
people, not just the companies, the people. Sometimes you're like, man, I got this person's address.
Oh yeah, you got
But
that
it's
right.
a great tool. It's an InvestCurb recommended tool.
There you go.
You can't go wrong with it. I mean, we're not, and again, we're not associated with the company that did this, but we love what it does. We really, really love what it does. It's like one of the best tools out there for what it does.
There you
It
go.
makes my job easier of trending a stock to see whether it's something I want to get into or leave alone.
Exactly.
But it's one of many. So I just gave you a really good one there. We just gave you a really good one there, but it helps me a lot. And it's like, again, learning and looking, you find these tools that work to your benefit.
Oh yeah, and they give you screeners, analyzers, sectors, inside trading, which I don't think they give you inside trading. They just titled it that for those who
Yeah.
don't know, because inside trading is definitely not. So this is one I was looking at for a while. AAMC. So
Okay. And it's up today. So what does that tell you?
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
technical analysis.
Oh, technical rating of 7.
That's pretty good.
You see? Yeah, I've been watching this bad boy. I've been watching this bad boy right here. And then let me see. You have them that I've been watching.
Go. Okay.
Who you want me to look at?
No, I was just gonna say, like, kind of walk and look. Go to fundamental analysis. No.
Oh
Go
yeah, yeah,
before you
yeah.
go.
Got you.
Just let them see what that stuff does. Dude, so yours is still working.
Yep. And I got
Oh,
a
okay. You haven't been using it. That's good though.
and this got a fundamental rating of 2. So it might have a technical side of of a 7, but a fundamental side of, and see, that just goes to show you guys that there's always 2 sides to every quarter. You know? Let me check Mara.
See where Mara's at. Since everybody want to talk Mara now.
And I can just look at from what little I see that is on point.
So they
Yeah,
have
look
a
at that.
technical rating of 9. So anybody ready to jump in Mara, that's your choice. But a fundamental rating of 5. So let's see what they mean by fundamental rating. So overall, Mara gets a fundamental rating of 5 out of 10. We evaluated Mara against 253 industry peers in the miscellaneous investing industry. Mara has a great financial health rating, but its profitability evaluates not so good. Mara is a value quite expensive, but it show an excellent growth. See?
And see, that's the thing that will make me say, okay, let me get into that because I like that.
Yeah, it wasn't
Go.
bad news.
No, it wasn't bad. And the thing is, that's the thing you got to learn about using these tools. You got to be able to discern what's good and bad, because just because it says that, it's a pretty good stock from what I'm seeing.
And a growth rating of 7.
Yep.
So this is the side where Tony's good at, because this is the fundamentals. Now you're learning fundamentals. I'm a chart guy. I know I show you guys charts, but when you need to do your research and you want to learn how to do your research, this is where it's at. So the earnings per share is expected to grow by 135% on average over the next 2 years.
So you just divide that in half and look at what you got.
Yeah, no, definitely. And didn't I tell the nice lady yesterday in regards to Mara, right?
Yep.
Didn't I say that? I said, yo, you're gonna see about 2 to 3 years to really make some good money from that.
Yeah.
Yep. And I didn't even read this.
Scroll back up a little bit, all the way to the top, please.
Yep.
So go to ownership because I want them to see this. And then scroll down a little bit. And then hit go down a little, right there. So you see top institutional holders, click that. So you see, it's a few. Look at that.
Bank of
America,
Vanguard. Wow.
So you see Morgan
Barclays.
Stanley.
Oh yeah.
And look at showing the money that they invested. That's the thing that had me.
This is a mining company.
Yeah.
So do the knowledge here, because you show right now something very powerful, okay? And America, you're watching this right now, and if you're not watching this, I don't know what you're doing, but you're wasting time, because what you just showed right here was the same people that will sit there probably and tell you don't get into Bitcoin is definitely jumping into these companies that are getting into Bitcoin.
I said that at the top of our show.
You see?
Look, Morgan Stanley, Barclays.
You see?
Vanguard, Bank of America. These are not little mom and pop shops. These are enterprise level companies with a lot of money.
Yes.
Why are they looking at Mara? Because Mara can make them money, and it's a Bitcoin related play.
Yes.
But they're in it. So be careful when you listen to these institutional people tell you they don't. The Bitcoin is not going anywhere. They want to get all the money and then leave you out in the cold.
Wow.
Look up Celsius while you're there, because we can see how strong Celsius really is. So go back to the beginning. Technical analysis. That's probably going to be really good. Look at that. It's a 10.
It's a 10.
So a 10.
So you don't need Tesla to make all the money? No, you don't need Tesla to make all the money.
Look at the price. It's relatively cheap, so the 5, we know 5 is not horrible.
A 9 growth rating.
They're growing like crazy.
Yep. Hold on. You told me to go back up and go to earnings. Was it earnings?
No, it's the ownership.
Yep, ownership. There you go.
And then scroll down and go to institutional. I know institutional's in that. See, so that's showing the people. Scroll up a little bit. Okay, stop. Go back down a little. All right.
I'm gonna leave it right there so you can explain. I don't know why it keeps moving, but there you go.
Okay, so BlackRock, nice. That's another good company to look at to invest in. Hood River Capital Management, they're all over the place with, they're big. State Street Corp is big. I don't know all of these guys, but I know the few that are big. Vanguard Group again. So if you start paying attention to this here, you start understanding who the players are that's holding on to all of these stocks for these different companies. BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street Corp. I see they got a lot of holdings of a lot of different positions. So like most of the times these companies are not public. BlackRock is, Vanguard is, but like most of the times they're not public.
And some of them are hedge funds, right? Hedge funds as well. Hedge fund players. Yep.
Yeah. But I'm always hoping that some side of their business has a stock so I can get in because of these investments they make. But I mean, just look at it. I mean, this thing got a perfect 10. You got some pretty good companies in here. And when I say pretty good, I actually mean really good. Some gangster companies in here. And you know, the drink itself, it's on Amazon. You can get I think, what is it? A 16 pack. It's not that expensive. If you're going to invest in it, you might as well drink it and see what you think about it. And I guarantee you'll say, yeah, I can see why this thing is going so well.
Yep.
But the numbers don't lie. And I always say that with this stuff because the numbers don't lie. If this was a crappy stock, you would see it here, and you're not seeing that. So it's a no-brainer for looking at this stock and saying it looks like something that needs to be up in my portfolio, hanging out with me from day to day.
Gotcha.
For a while.
That totally makes sense. Oh,
matter of fact, that's my new homie. His name is CeeLo.
Exactly. Exactly. That's next level right there.
But
well,
you know, you're seeing the tool for what it's worth. And I mean, like these tools kind of give you a whole nother sensation. But if you Google a stock and look at it, the news, it'll tell you, oh, great investment, you know. So yeah, Amazon is probably not going to be that good right now. Or it is. Oh, you just want to see who owns it. I'm sure that's got big time. Look at the list. It's long. Look how long that listed.
Yeah.
Morgan Stanley again, State Street Corp, BlackRock. I mean, you got to look at these companies holding on to this stuff and say, wow. And look, it's showing you the amounts. Look how much money that BlackRock has in Amazon, all the way to the right.
Wow.
That's a lot of cheddar.
Whoa.
I think that's billion, right? I'm looking at it.
That's a billion. That's 88 billion.
Right. So think about that. So if BlackRock spent 88 billion on that stock,
Vanguard,
why aren't you looking at that as a play?
Now ask yourself this question: why is your salary only down here when these guys? No, yeah, these people being selfish.
But what we're showing you here is this is some key stuff where you start to understand, like, these guys are not playing around. They're putting big money in this. No company does this unless they have a whole lot of faith in the company and the performance.
I know
MSTR.
You got this one. I knew you was going to like this.
This is going to be a good tell-all. Ownership.
I knew you was going to like this one.
Because I looked at that one and I was like, wow. BlackRock again. Look at the top. Look, they got the most. Look at that.
Wow.
So you know them owning this, they're going to have a great year.
Mm-hmm.
Their MSTR's earnings report, I think, is January. Hold on, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to look it up. And these are the things that, you know, you wind up doing when you're looking up these stocks. When you start seeing this stuff, you're like, man, what's wrong with me? Why haven't I been playing this game?
Wow.
I'm going to tell you, MicroStrategy, Tuesday, January 26th, 4 p.m. So if they have a great earnings report, which I'm expecting them to do, just based on what you're seeing here and the stuff we told you, it doesn't always mean that the day they're going to explode. Like, so they're having their earnings report after 4 o'clock on Tuesday. So that would mean either after market or in the morning that this stock is going to surge. I think it's going to surge, but I've seen where the stock did very well on the earnings report, but it didn't surge. So, but we just, all I'm asking you to do is just to due diligence to find out what the stock did on January 26th, because it'll be available at probably like after 5 o'clock or a little before 5 p.m. that day. And you'll see that they did well, and you can look up the stock and say, oh, wow.
So I know I normally show you real estate stocks. Let's go into a real estate play that I've been looking at for a while. That way you actually get, hold on, boom. I want to see. So this is EXPI. EXPI is actually a brokerage. And just like he said, for the ones that you see that has great growth, there's normally Vanguard in it. There's normally BlackRock in it. That
State
is,
Street.
yeah, that's funny.
Yo, I just keep saying, when you look at this, you start understanding how big these companies are, these hedge fund companies are, because dude, they're incredibly huge.
Oh yeah. Let me
That's
see.
just one stock that they own so much of. So like, what is their total overall value?
Boom. This is out of 10. I've been telling you about them. Remember, Tony?
Yep.
Antonio? And you looking at now it's at $80, and I've been telling you about them for a minute. The other one that I've been telling you about is Redfin, and these guys roll neck and neck. Normally, every time there's an increase.
Wait, look at the technical. I'm just curious. Technical, it's at a 9. So there you
9 and
go.
10. 9 and
Right.
10. And trust me, for the past week or so, these guys have been collecting. Their stock has been raising high, and
Look,
once again,
BlackRock got it
Vanguard,
again. Vanguard,
BlackRock. Oh lordy, see? Yep.
Lord Abbott. So yeah, you always see the same players, like, and these guys are huge when they're doing these buys like this. Do me a favor, type in MTCH, Mary, Tom, Cat, Harry. Yeah, look at that. I found that one today.
Yep. Out of 9.
Yep, look at that. I mean, and right there, that just tells you that's Match. I think that's Match.com. I think. Okay, so BlackRock again, Morgan Stanley,
Vanguard.
JP Morgan, Vanguard, T. Rowe Price.
Wow.
I don't know them all, but I know the big players because I see those names on everything. Now they don't so BlackRock doesn't own a lot of that, but it owns enough. Look at that, $487 million.
Sands Capital got what's that? That's 1 billion.
1 billion, yeah. So like when you be thinking about investing, you got to ask yourself, and I'm talking to the crowd, why are these companies putting all this money in? I'm gonna ask you, do one. This is one because I know it fell off the map, but I just want to see where it's at. Trill, put Trill in there. That's my last request for the day. I just want to see if it fell off because it did fall off a bit. And then you got to go to you got to scroll down. And then technical analysis. I just want to see technicals. So it dropped a lot. Yeah, because it was at a 7 before. But that's cool. They need to see what it doesn't look that good. Now, even though this is at a 3, this still looks good. Go to the investors. Yeah. So it's not, so the BlackRocks are not in this because this is a low level fruit stock, but you still see people investing some nice money in this, right?
Yep. Yep.
And I see it was one company, and I got the screenshot somewhere, but one company pulled out already.
Gotcha.
But it still got people buying it, right?
Yep.
And they started buying it when it dipped.
Got you.
At least the first couple, because I see the dates. But I'm just saying, like, so now you get the extreme example where it's not doing that well, but you still see people are buying it because it has a propensity to pop. Just a matter of when it will pop.
Oh yeah.
And as the value keeps going up and the momentum, then you'll see more people starting to do the institutional investment. Look at the insider holders. That's the crazy part that tripped me out. This one may not have any names. Let me scroll down.
No, I don't have any names.
Yeah, but sometimes they be having the name and the address, and I'm like, wow, wouldn't want my name up there.
Well, yo, man, we're gonna cut this live show short.
Yep.
We've been rocking with you for a minute, giving you a ton of information, and we want to make sure that you basically take the time out, give a like, subscribe to the channel. We're gonna do more of these sessions to give you a lot of valuable plays and a lot of information. And trust me, man, we steering you in the right way.
And thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, if you notice, we're not telling you exactly what to buy, but we're just basically showing you what's out there and giving you the heads up. That way you can make real good, decisive, conscious decisions. All right. Thank you and enjoy your day.